What do you think you'll do with them?
Play board games.
What kind of board games do you usually play?
We play Catan. We play Catan and some other board games, but yeah.
Catan is really fun. So your dad's mom is the one coming, and okay, the other grandparents are leaving. Well, that'll be great. Do they stay with you at your house?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have nice plans for the weekend? Harika?
So the day after tomorrow is my cousin's housewarming ceremony, so we're going there. And tomorrow I'm just gonna be playing with my friends.
Nice. Harika, by the way, I sent your parents a message about it, but there have been a few things on Bright Thinker lately that you don't upload the pictures for, and you have a message that says you can't take a picture. I'll have you redo all of those, because anytime you say that, it means it's an automatic 0, because there has to be picture to show that you did those assignments. Okay, so you need to ask your parents for help with that. If you aren't able to do it ever, wait, don't submit the assignment yet. Just wait until they can help you with it on Bright Thinker, okay? Or maybe your sister can help with some of that too.
Yeah, I'm actually using my sister's iPad for it.
Oh, that's why, because you can't submit it from an iPad, I think. So that's why it keeps showing up on your to-do list, because I need you to do it with a pic. Harika, can you unmute yourself?
Huh?
So you need to upload a picture for any of those assignments where it's asking for a picture. And if you just say, I can't take a picture, that means it's an automatic 0, okay?
Yeah, because my computer, whenever I take a picture, it's like blurred.
Sweetheart, you need to ask your parents for help with it, because otherwise you've got a bunch of 0 assignments.
Okay.
Okay, we can't just not do it, because then it's a 0. So ask, sweetheart, can you unmute yourself still? Are you going to ask your parents for help with it? They know already. I sent them a message. That should be a goal for this weekend.
Okay.
Okay, that you take pictures of all those assignments that you need pictures for. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
We really need to do that this weekend, because grades for the mid-quarter grades were due, and those are going to be sent to you. Your parents will be able to check those on eSchool, but you can still upload some of those old things. If you've got 0s for missing assignments, it's okay. We're not done with the quarter yet. We still have 4 more weeks, so you can still submit those to improve your grade. Okay?
Okay.
Samhita? Yes, Samhita?
Sorry, hold on, let me unmute. So during the weekend on Saturday, we're going to someone's house. And on Sunday, I don't really think there's. Oh, and on Sunday, we have to say this kind of. We had to go to this kind of class where there will be. Where we have to say this kind of.
Oh, what's going on with that connection? Harika, can you unmute for a second?
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, sorry, just 1 minute, Samhita. Harika, is that your sister that you're talking to?
No, it's my mom.
It is your mom. Could you have her come to the camera for just a moment?
Okay.
Okay. Hi, ma'am.
Hello, Miss Gardner.
Good to see you. I guess you overheard that conversation, and I sent you a message about it, and she can still complete all of those assignments, but I think she'll need help with taking those pictures. So is that something that you'd be able to help out with? Because
Sure.
I think she's just been confused by it, and so she sent a lot of messages saying, I can't take the picture. But it seems like it's because of that iPad. I don't think it works on the iPad, unfortunately.
Okay, I think sometimes she uploads from iPad, but yeah, she hasn't tell us about that recently. Yeah, also we are following up to do on her work.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, she can still make up all of those things that are missing assignments in eSchool. She can still do all of those. And I think that I've already let her retry it. So it should show up in her Bright Thinker activity stream, I think is what it's called when you're able to see which ones can be redone, the activity stream.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Let me know if you have any questions about it though.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, bye. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Okay, boys and girls. Sorry, Samhita, you can continue. What were you going to say before?
I want to say, we're going to go to this kind of class, and it's like church, kind of. It's like church. So we have to go
And
there.
Go ahead.
We just have to sing like a hymn for our God. So yeah.
Very cool. So is that for a special holiday this weekend? No. Okay. Well, very interesting. Boys and what's that? Just
It's
like
normal church.
Okay. Very cool. Well, boys and girls, let's start on the Pledge of Allegiance and school motto. Alina, would you like to lead us in that today?
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor.
Honor. Yes.
Okay. Honor. I will honor
Those things which are good, true, and beautiful.
Respect. I will show respect to others at all times. Service. I will do good things for others while being asked. Excellence. I will strive for excellence in all things. Perseverance. I'll fulfill commitments and not give up or act on discouragement.
Thanks, Alina. Can you all join me for a moment of silence? Okay, boys and girls, well, let's start on some spelling review. We have a spelling quiz today, just a quiz. And let's also do a few phonograms to start off. Great, Harika's got her whiteboard. I see Alexander and Alina are ready to go as well. Great job. And it looks like we're just missing Tig at this point. I don't remember. This might have been another one of the days that he was going to take off to go to Disneyland or Disney World or possibly to Legoland. But we'll see if he joins late. Okay, let's do some single letter phonograms today, starting with the phonogram K. Please write K. Single letter phonograms. Harika, you're close, but that's K. Can you write just K? Great job, Sahanasri. Great job, Kruti. Dikshita, please turn your camera on. And Marcus, can I see that you've got a whiteboard and marker ready to write? Should look like this. Next, please write the phonogram J. 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 Great job. It should look like this. Next, please write p. P. Marcus, if you don't have a whiteboard, you should be writing this somewhere. Make sure you're practicing that. Think of what makes a p sound. It's just the single letters of the alphabet that we're doing. P. Can you write what would make that sound? Great work. Next, please write the phonogram t. 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 Excellent. Let's do one more. Great work. Sahanasri, could you go through and say each of the phonograms that we wrote?
J, P, and T, and F.
Great job, Sahanasri. Marcus, would you do that as well? Unmute yourself and we're going to say the sounds of each phonogram.
Yeah. I just said the sounds.
You did all of them? Okay, sorry, I missed the last few. So this would be t, and this is. Good job. That was perfect. We can erase our boards now and let's do some spelling review. Starting with the word contagious. We think to spell contagious. Contagious. There's a silent vowel in there. Good job, Kruthi. You remembered it. Contagious is the way we think to spell it. Similar to allegiance. Remember how we had allegiance? It's a silent I there. For both of them, we have that silent I there to keep the j saying its second sound. Next up, please write the word development. Development. Development is the way we think to spell that one. Development. Marcus, are you writing the words? I know you've got your whiteboard ready to go. The last, or the one I just said was development. Can you write it? Excellent. Development. Harika, you're so close, but I think you're missing, it was an E in either the first or second syllable that you're missing. Can you see that? Development. Our next word is distill, like distilled water. Distill. Distill. Great job. Remember the double L in that one. That's really the only thing that's you've got to keep in mind. Next is intelligent. Another double L in that one. Intelligent. Intelligent. Check that yours matches mine. Next up, let's do opportune. 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 Looks like this. Opportune. And finally, opportunity. Tune it e. Opportunity. Marcus, did you hear the last one? As much as possible, but when I say the word, you just write it, okay? So I'm not going to be able to call on you each time to remind you. So just as soon as I say the word, it's your time to write it, okay? Opportunity. Opportunity. Check that your spelling matches mine. Opportunity. Sorry, I was running out of space, so I didn't mark that one. Opportunity. And that covers it. That's all of our words that are going to be on the test today, or quiz today. We have 32 words that are going to be on the quiz, and you can start taking out a piece of paper for the quiz now. And boys and girls, I hope that you took some time to practice our poem, The Happy Farmer, yesterday. Does anybody feel like they know it almost completely? Do you, Samhita? That's great. Okay, let me hear you say it for us as we get our things out.
The Happy Farmer, author unknown. Let the mighty and great roll in splendor and state. I envy them not, I declare it. I eat my own lamb, my own chicken and ham. I hear my own sheep and I wear it. I have lawns and green bowers, fresh fruit and fine flowers. The lark is my bright morning charmer.
So
God bless the plow, in the future as now, a health and long life to the farmer.
Wonderful, Samhita. Let's give her a hand. That was perfect.
Thank you.
Does anybody else feel like they know the poem? Sahanasri, I'd love for you to say it for us. And then Dikshita.
Okay, the happy farmer. Okay. Let the mighty and great roll in splendor and splay. I envy them not, I declare it. I eat my own lamb, my own chicken and ham, and I shear my own sheep and wear it. I have lawns and green bowers, fresh fruit and fine flowers. The lark is my bright morning charmer.
So So God bless the plow.
So God bless the plow in the future as now, a health and a long life to the farmer.
Wow, Sahanasri, that was so great too.
Thanks.
So many of you are about finished memorizing it sounds like. Dikshita, can you try it out for us now?
The happy farmer.
Let the mighty and great
Let the mighty and great roll in splendor and state. I envy them not, I declare it. I eat my own ham and my chicken and ham. I eat my own lamb and I eat my chicken and ham. And I shear my sheep and wear it. I have the lawns and green bowers, fresh fruits and fine flowers.
The lark
is bright. The lark is bright morning charmer. So God bless the plow for the future as now. A health, long life to the farmer.
Way to go, Dikshita, as well. Okay, we'll do recitations of it next week. It should be memorized by the end of next week. Okay, who has their paper? Hopefully you're numbering it already to number 32. That's how many words we're going to have in the quiz. 32. Alina, would you like to try it out for us next?
Okay. The happy farmer, let the mighty and great rule in splendor and state. I envy them not, I declare it. I eat my own lamb, my own chicken and ham. I shear my own sheep and I wear it. I have lawns and green bowers, fresh fruits and fine flowers. The lark is my bright morning charmer. So God bless the bow in the future as now. A health and long life to the farmer, the happy farmer.
Alina, that was wonderful. Well done. Now, boys and girls, you probably noticed, with there being no poet's name for this one, it's because there is, this is a old folk song that's been around for a long time, and there's different versions of it out there. So it's not really accredited to just one person, because a lot of different people have kind of written it and changed it over time. They don't know exactly who started it. So if you, while you're practicing it, you can either say, the happy farmer, author unknown, like Samhita did, or you can just say nothing. The happy farmer, let the mighty and great, and just roll right into it. Okay? Either one is fine. Okay, who is ready for the quiz? Not yet. It's okay, Aryansh. Kruti?
Wait, how many numbers? How many words?
There are 32 words. 32. Okay, well, if you are not quite done numbering your page, it's okay. We'll continue doing it as we go along through the quiz. Are you about done, Aryansh? Okay. Well, let's start our quiz with the word recommend. Recommend. Like, I recommend you take advantage of the nice weather tomorrow and get outside and play. Recommend maybe play some tennis like Alexander. Recommend.
I have tennis class every day except for Saturday and Sunday, so I'm going to be doing tennis today.
Wow. Yeah, Emma, you are. Sounds like a tennis pro. I'd love to see you sometime. Okay, let's start with number 2 next. Resemble. Resemble. According to the McCall Crab passage yesterday, some people resemble their dogs. Resemble. Did you guys read that one? Or maybe it's the other way around, that some dogs resemble their owners. Resemble.
Dogs are like their humans.
That's what some people say. Resemble. Word 3 is resemblance. Like there's a strong resemblance between the two sisters. Resemblance. Some Heta sisters have a very strong resemblance. Resemblance. Word 4 is seize. 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 The pirates went aboard the ship and seized the treasure. Seize. Next up is seizure. Seizure. When the woman had a seizure, she was rushed to the hospital. Seizure. Marcus?
What's a seizure?
It's an issue with the nervous system. Some people have them regularly, and other people, like if there is something that damages their nerves, they start to kind of shake. So it's when the nervous system is damaged, although some people just have it more regularly. But yeah, it's when the body like really shakes.
What's the word again, Ms. Gardner?
Seizure. Seizure. But to remember that we have seize as the base word. Seize. So we change the way it's pronounced, but we still have seize as the base word. Okay, next up is superintendent. Superintendent. Mrs. Pan is the principal of our elementary, but Mrs. Provenza is the superintendent. Superintendent. Or we end up calling her just headmaster, but that's basically what it is, superintendent. Number 6. Thumbs up once you're done with 6. 6 words so far. Good. Okay, next up, number 7 is surgeon. Surgeon. You had to go to a surgeon when he broke his leg. Surgeon. Next, number 8 is thoroughly. Thoroughly. Almonzo thoroughly enjoys horses. Thoroughly. He thoroughly enjoys thoroughbred horses, if we want to tie in thoroughbred too. Thoroughly. Yes, Kruti?
What's the word again?
Thoroughly. Next is number 9, judgment. Remember, this is the special word that you can write 2 different ways and still be counted correct. Because there are 2 accepted spellings of the word. So you don't get this word counted right automatically, because you still have to spell it one of the 2 ways that is correct, but makes it a little easier. Judgment. Remember, some people keep that silent final E before adding the suffix, and others don't. Judgment. Yes, Ariansh?
When are we going to read some mythology? Roman mythology.
You know what? We covered all of the ones that are 3rd grade Roman myths and Norse myths, but if we have time later in the year, we'll do a little bit more. We might not do any more though, because we have some specific ones for 3rd grade and we read those in a few extras. Do you want to get back to that?
Yeah.
Did you like having Mythology Fridays? I loved that too. Maybe we'll bring it back once we're finished with Jungle Book, because it's kind of a shorter one that we'll be reading. Okay, next word is number 10, accurate. Accurate. Next is accuracy. Goes with it. Number 11, accuracy. Next, who's ready for number 12? Okay. Number 12 is counterfeit. 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 Next, number 13 is dessert, like something sweet to eat. Dessert.
We're marking, right?
Yes. But if you miss some markings, it's okay. Yes, Alexander?
Number 13 is dessert.
Yes, 13, dessert. Ooh, nice. Marcus has got a little clock there. Perfect for our unit that we're on in math. Next, number 14, digest. Digest. We are going to be hearing about the digestive system next week. Digest. Next is digestible, number 15, digestible. Owls cough up everything that's not digestible in their owl pellets. Digestible. Next, number 16 is marmalade, like a jam or jelly. Marmalade. Number 17 is desert, like a sandy desert. Yes, Alexander?
Why wasn't dessert after desert? Wasn't it a different spelling word?
Yeah, I don't know why it was in 2 different lessons. I'm just going along with the order.
Because it's kind of like, you know, they both have the same ring to it.
Yeah, definitely. They're near homophones. Next up, and near homographs, almost written and almost sound the same. Next is, actually, this is a good stopping point. You should be at 17, desert. Thumbs up if you're caught up at this point. Ooh. Okay. So you should be ready for number 18, right? Number 18 is immense, meaning very large. Immense. Like we might use the word immense for the size of the universe. Immense. It's for huge things, almost too big to imagine. Marcus?
My desk is immense.
You know which one is next?
No, but he's immense. weighs
Who is?
221 pounds.
I don't think you'd like you saying that. Okay. Immense is number 18. Number 19 is a synonym. What, Alexander?
Ginormous.
Not quite.
Oh. Enormous.
Enormous. Yep, good job, girls. Enormous.
I was close.
You were close. Ginormous is a made-up word combining enormous and giant. But it's just a made-up word. Okay, next is number 20, leopard. Leopard. Next is 21, millionaire. Millionaire.
Which number is millionaire?
21,
What was 20?
leopard. 22, orchestra. Orchestra. Next, number 23 is college. College. Marcus, if you can hear me, come back to your spot because we are saying a new word. Oh, there you are. Number 23, college. Next is 24, benefit. Benefit. Josiah, what's the next one?
Benefit.
24 was benefit.
Okay. And I think number 25 is beneficial.
Yep, 25 is beneficial. Good job. Beneficial. Like it's beneficial to do your assignments on your to-do list each day so that it doesn't build up to the next day. Beneficial. Number 26 is the weird one. Kernel, like Colonel Mustard. Not like a kernel of corn, but kernel like Colonel Mustard. Do you remember how we think to spell? Colonel. Next, number 27 is contagious. Contagious. COVID-19 is very contagious. Very easy to catch. Number 28 is development. Development. Next, number 29 is distill, like distilled water. Distill. Number 30, next is intelligent. Intelligent.
What was 29
Distill.
and 28 also?
Development. Okay, next up is 31, opportune. Opportune. Yes, Emma?
I know the next word.
What is it?
Opportunity.
You got it. 32 is opportunity. Okay, that is all of them. Let me open up the chat for those of you who need to write out something you're missing. And then, was there somebody I said would read aloud all the words? I forget if I told someone recently. Was it you, Alexander? Or you just want to?
I just want to, but so recommend, resemble, resemblance, seizure, seize, seizure, superintendent, surgeon, thoroughly, judgment. Oh, sorry.
9 is judgment.
Yeah.
10 is
Accurate.
accurate.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Accurate. Counterfeit. Dessert. Digest. Digestible. Marmalade. Dessert.
Desert. Okay, I'll just clarify on that one. Number 17 is desert, like a sandy desert.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
13 was dessert. Can you say dessert, Alexander?
Dessert.
And then desert.
Yeah. Immense, enormous, leopard, millionaire, orchestra. Oh man, I lost 23.
23 is college.
Oh yeah, college, benefit, beneficial, colonel, contagious, develop, distill, intelligent, opportune, opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much, Alexander. Dikshita and anybody else who's missing one, please write it in the chat. I know that was a little fast. Thank you so much, Alexander. 21 is millionaire, Josiah, millionaire. And 8, Kruthi, is thoroughly. Thoroughly.
Wait, number 8 is thoroughly?
Yes. Samhita, 26 is kernel. Like Colonel Mustard. And 27 through 32, Rishith. Wow, okay. 27 is contagious. "28, Rishith, is development. That's for Arshad, to development. "29, Rishith, is distill. Dikshita, by the way, 19 is enormous. Hey, Aryansh, just wait a minute because I'm in the middle of saying several to Rishith, okay? Rishith, number 30 is intelligent. "31 is opportune. And 32, opportunity. Okay, Arshad, number 3 is resemblance. And Arshad, number 16, marmalade. Okay, anybody still need something repeated? Emma?
I don't need anything repeated, but can I show you guys an emoji in the chat?
You want to do what in the chat?
I want to put something in the chat.
Okay, I'll let you do it, as we're not going to keep the chat up much longer, but go ahead. Yes, Aryansh?
For science, the heart and then the lungs.
Oh. You know what? Actually, it's not showing up on my side.
Yeah.
Aryansh?
The chat wasn't working for me. I couldn't send anything.
Okay, it looks like it's working for others, so I'm not sure what the problem is.
14. But I need the word number 14, 15, 20, and 21.
Okay. Give me a thumbs up after you're done with each one. Digest is 14. Digestible is 15. "20 is leopard. And 21 is millionaire. Okay, anybody else still need something repeated? Sorry, that took a little longer than usual, and quizzes in general do take longer because I want to give you plenty of time to mark those words. Okay, at this time, boys and girls, we are going to jump right into well-ordered language. You can take some time to get a drink of water, take out your well-ordered language book, and we are going to go over the compound direct objects. We didn't end up doing the introduction really yesterday, but that's okay because it's really straightforward. And we're going to jump right into some pages in your workbook today. Now, compound direct objects are exactly what you think would be. 2 direct objects, just like we had 2 verbs as compound verbs and 2 subjects for compound subjects. Like if I said, Arshab played basketball and soccer. The compound direct objects are basketball and soccer. Two things that he played, right? Or Sahnasri had cake and ice cream. She ate cake and ice cream. Ooh, what are the compound direct objects there? Or maybe Aryansh, we should say it for him since it's his birthday week. Aryansh, what are the compound direct objects there?
The cake and ice cream.
Cake and ice cream. That's right.
Which are both yummy.
Yes. So compound direct objects are when you just have two direct objects. And as you might expect, we just circle them and write DO at the bottom, just like usual with direct objects. And we have a conjunction that combines them. Usually the conjunction and. Okay, would you all turn to page 183 in your workbooks? That's where we're going to start. And I'd love to review our direct object song. Can you sing it with me? D, O, D, O. A direct object is an objective element that tells what the subject is acting on. D, O, D, O. It's a noun or pronoun after the transitive verb. D, O, D, O. It answers the questions what or whom after the verb, and it's labeled D, O, O, D, O. Who can lead us in that? Who else can sing the D-O song? Harika, I'd love for you to sing it for us. That's a fun one we haven't done in a while.
Yeah. D.
You remember it?
Yeah, it's actually in my. I actually opened to the book, the page.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. D. O. D. O. A direct object is an objective element that tells us what the subject is acting on. D. O. D. O. A noun or pronoun after a transitive verb. D. O. D. O. It answers the question what or who or whom after the verb, and it's labeled D. O. O. D. O.
Great job, Harika. So a DO is a noun or pronoun after a transitive verb. A transitive verb is just a verb that has an object with it. Tom took one apple and some cake as an example of a compound direct object after the predicate verb. It also answers the questions what or whom after the verb. So keep that in mind. Tom took what? Apple. Tom took what else? Some cake. Both of them are direct objects. They're equally important as direct objects in the sentence. Notice that we circle them, label them both as DO, and our conjunction, we put the wings around just like usual. Okay, let's flip over to page 186 now. 186. And we are going to be talking about actually, we'll go in order of this. So another thing that we're going to be doing throughout this unit is creating some good sentences using several words that are not in order. For example, in this one, it says, afternoon somersaults Heidi, during did long thee. Now you might notice, already Heidi's going to be a subject. Somersaults is also a noun, so it probably is a direct object or an object of the preposition. Heidi did somersaults during the afternoon, long afternoon. You could say the preposition at the beginning, or you could put the prepositional phrase at the end. What do you think we could make of this group of words? Bone, table, Rex, steak, gobbled under the. I think I know what is going to be the subject, but we also want to think through what the other nouns are, because we might have two direct objects that we'll use. There also might be an object of the preposition. Emma, what do you think we could make of this group of words?
I know what the subject is.
Good. What's the subject?
Rex.
I think so too. Let's put Rex as the subject and cross it out.
It's the dog.
That's right, Rex the dog. Now, what is the best predicate verb that we would choose to go with Rex? What is Rex doing? Ariansh?
Gobbling a bone.
Good. Gobbled. And I think he did gobble the bone. That's a direct object. Now, what about steak, under the, and table? What do you, and notice there's not a conjunction, so it's not going to be a bone and steak. What do you think we're going to do, Alexander?
Under the bone.
So
Sorry,
Rex
not
gobbled the bone.
Sorry. Under the table, steak table.
So steak table doesn't really make sense. Where would steak make sense, Emma?
Under the table, the steak.
How about he gobbled the steak bone? Not just bone, but steak bone. Does that make sense? Let's do that. Gobbled the steak bone. And now we have that preposition under the table. And then we used up all the words. Steak can be a noun, which was a little tricky, but I think in this sentence they wanted it to be an adjective. I think that's the only place it makes sense. Now, could we have put that prepositional phrase at the beginning? Under the table, Rex gobbled the steak bone? Yeah, that makes sense too. Okay, let's look at 2. Shovel, neighbor, back, little, brought, yesterday, the. Do you see a subject, Ariansh?
I think it's neighbor.
Yeah, I think neighbor too.
But the problem is none of them start with a capital letters, so we don't know which one goes at the beginning of the word, the beginning of the sentence.
Yeah, you're right. I think the only reason some of these have a capitalized one is because they're a proper noun, not because it's the first word. But yeah, let's put neighbor, but it makes sense to say the neighbor first. Okay, so the neighbor, what did the neighbor do? Dikshita?
I know the whole sentence.
Oh, okay. I'll let you keep going. Finish it up for us.
The neighbor brought the little shovel yesterday.
Excellent. Brought the little shovel yesterday. Now we're missing back is the only thing we're missing. Where would that fit in? The neighbor brought the little shovel yesterday. Where would back fit in?
The neighbor brought the little shovel back yesterday.
Good. Yeah, that's it. The neighbor brought the little shovel back yesterday. That totally makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, we're a little short on time, so I'll have you finish the other 2 on your own for part of your homework. Try your best to make sentences out of the group of words. Break, dad, garage, spring, hole, organized after the. I'd encourage you to go through, I like these too. I'm glad you do too, Emma. I'd encourage you to start by thinking, what is my subject? What is the subject doing? Look for a predicate verb and then go from there. Okay, flip over to page 187 at this time and let's practice analyzing sentences that have compound direct objects. Both of these have compound direct objects. That's what we're going to be focusing on throughout this unit. Alina, could you read sentence 1 for us?
During the storm, the rain watered the flowers and plants.
Great job. Now, Alina, do you see a conjunction in the sentence?
Yes, and.
Great job. The conjunction is and.
And it's the conjunction.
Good. So we can see that it's joining together two nouns, flowers and plants, but we're going to get back to that. Now, let's find if there's any prepositional phrases. Do you see any prepositional phrases in the sentence, Arshab? During the storm, the rain watered the flowers and plants. Arshab, do you see a prepositional phrase?
During the storm.
You got it, during the storm. And that comma sets it apart from the rest of the sentence. During is a preposition, storm is an object of the preposition, the is an adjective. Okay, we're getting closer. We're seeing some good structure here. Sahanasri, could you tell me what the subject of this sentence is? Do you see a subject?
Okay. The subject is what?
During the
Is it
storm,
rain?
the rain watered the flowers and plants. Can you picture what's happening here? During the storm, the rain watered the flowers and plants. Good job. So rain is the subject. Now, what is the rain doing?
Is it rain?
Rain is the subject. Can you find the predicate verb, Sahanasri?
Watering the flowers and plants.
Good, watering. That's our predicate verb. Okay, Rishith, can you finish up the sentence? We've got the
Water.
flowers, plants.
Okay. Which part am I? Which part?
All of the rest of the sentence. Please identify each of the rest of the words.
The words that are left there.
Yes, what's flowers, for example? Start with that one. What part of speech is flowers?
Okay. Adverb.
No, what a flower is a noun, it's a thing, right? But it's not the subject. So what else could it be? So far, we know that nouns can be either subjects, direct objects, or objects of the preposition. Which of those three is it? Subject, direct object. It's not an object of the preposition because this would be an example of an object of the preposition after a preposition. So that leaves direct object. Now, Rishith, a direct object answers what or whom after the verb. What did the rain water? Flowers. Do you see how it's receiving the action? The rain watered flowers. Rain watered something else. What else did rain water? Rain watered flowers, and rain watered plants. I'd encourage you, if you're not doing this already, make a mental picture of what's happening, Rishith. So can you imagine during a storm, rain is watering flowers and plants? Good, Harika, making a real picture. So rain is doing something. What did rain do? Water. What did the rain water? Flowers and plants. Okay, the is an adjective describing flowers there, describing rain there, and then during the storm is an adverbial prepositional phrase. Okay, boys and girls, I'll have you do the rest of these pages, this introductory lesson for practice today. So those pages are not in Bright Thinker yet, but I'll get them in there after our class today. Try your very best. I know this is brand new. Hopefully, if you know direct objects, well, it's going to be easy. But if you are still having a hard time with direct objects, then it might be a little tricky for you. Okay, remember that it receives the action. What did rain water? Flowers and plants. Okay. Great job, Kruthi. Or Emma, I couldn't tell who was holding that up. Okay, time for us to transition over to math. Can you take out your math notebook? And we are going to be talking about converting hours and minutes today. Samhita, do you have a question?
Not really. It's not so important, so I'll ask you at the end.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start with a little warm-up. Marcus, can you read this time? Ariansh, since it's a quiz day, we don't have to do anything in orthography. That's okay. We would every other day. Marcus, what time is shown on this clock? Little warm-up exercise. The red is the hour hand. The blue is the minute hand, if you can't tell.
I know. From what I've learned, it's 11:25.
You're right, 11:25. Good job. Okay, let's get to somebody else. Emma, can you read this time?
It is 9:20.
Good job. Okay, Josiah, I'm going to give you a bit of a harder one. You ready? It's between the numbers, so try your best to see what the minutes are.
9:37.
So close. It's not to the 9 yet, though.
Oh, 8:37.
Good job. Okay, Ariane, here's one for you. Now remember, the minute hand is almost to the next hour. Can you tell? Are you not sure about the hour, Arianch? Let me back it up and you can see the progression of time. What time is it? I'll have Arshab do this one. Arshab?
6:50.
6:50, that's right. I know it's kind of confusing because it looks like it's right on the 7, but that's because it's almost to the next hour. So
I wasn't unmuted. That's why.
oh, I
was
thought
saying
you were
50 10 times, and I didn't know if I got it correct or not.
I was waiting for you to unmute because I thought you were just thinking about it before you unmuted. Okay, Arianch, let me get you a different one. And you can just stay unmuted right now.
$4:35.
You got it. Okay, and one for Kruthi.
$2:45.
You got it. Good job. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now, but we might get to more later. Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to be focusing on converting hours to minutes and converting minutes to hours. So basically, there's only one thing you really need to know for this, and then we're going to use multiplication to figure out the rest. Here is the one thing you need to know for this unit. You ready? It's only one thing you need to know for the whole chapter today. How many minutes are in an hour? That's it. Kruthi?
60 minutes.
60 minutes, that's right. Once you know that 60 minutes are in an hour, we're actually going to use multiplication to figure out the rest. Oh, Alexander, that is so cool. I love it. Once you know that, we're going to use multiplication to figure out the rest. Okay, so, for example, if there are 60 minutes in 1 hour, how many minutes would be in 2 hours? Alexander?
120. 6 plus 6 equals 12. Add 0 equals 120.
That's right. You can think of 6 times 2 is 12 and then add a 0. Marcus, how many minutes would be in 3 hours?
180 minutes.
Good job. You got it.
Yo, wizard, Harry. Yo, wizard.
And Josiah, tell me how many minutes would be in 4 hours.
Okay. So, it would be. Let's see what. 3 plus 16.
What's 6 times 4?
6 times 4 is 18.
No, not quite. That's 6 times 3, 24. And then add a 0 to it.
140.
You got it. Okay. I'll get to other people in a little bit, but let's take a look at our textbook for this. It says here, Jerry rides for 2 hours. How many minutes are in 2 hours? Well, you can think of it as addition, 60 plus 60 equals 120. Or you can use multiplication. 2 times 60 is 120. Do you remember the multiplicative property of 10, which basically means if there's anything that you're multiplying that has a 0 at the end of it, you can just imagine no 0, multiply these two, and then add on the 0 later. We're going to be using quite a bit these abbreviations, H for hour and MIN for minutes. Have you guys used those abbreviations before? So H for hour, min for minute. That's all we need to know. So 3 hours, we could multiply 3 times 6, which is what? Dikshita?
18.
18. And then that means 3 times 60 is what?
180.
You got it, 180. You can also add 60 plus 60 plus 60, but I want you to focus on this because we've done this before, and that is going to be a way of continuing to practice multiplication. That's a much better approach. Now we can also convert hours and minutes to minutes. For example, if we have 1 hour and 10 minutes, and we want to convert it to all minutes, well, 1 hour is 60 minutes plus 10 minutes equals 70 minutes. So 70 minutes altogether. Let's try that with this one. Alina, can you tell me 2 hours and 30 minutes, how many minutes that would be?
That would be
Well, first of all, how many minutes are in 2 hours?
120 minutes.
You got it, 120 minutes. Actually, I think they're wanting us to put 60 plus 60 for the 2 hours, but plus another 30 minutes. So we already know 60 and 60 is 120. Then add 30 more. Alina, how many is it?
150 minutes.
Perfect, 150 minutes. Okay, Kruthi, can you do the next one for us? 2 hours and 45 minutes. Now I'll give you a shortcut. You can just add 15 more to that one. Or let's slow down and do this, Kruthi. So if we know 1 hour is 60 minutes, 2 hours is 2 times 60, and how much is that?
120.
Good. And then we're going to add 45 to that. And what is it total?
And it would be 165.
Great. Okay, and Harika, I'll have you do the last one. 4 hours and 28 minutes. Whoa, tough one. You ready for it?
I was actually going to answer the one that Kruti was going to do, but I think we're supposed to add in this one.
It looks like for this one, this is what we're going to do. Think of 4 hours as 4 times 60 minutes, because it's each hour is 60 minutes. What is 4 times 6?
4 times 6.
Can you skip count by 6s?
24.
Good. And then it's 4 times 60. So what are you going to do?
So 4 times 6, and then add the 0.
Yep, that's right. Add a 0. So 240 minutes is how many 4 hours is?
Mm-hmm.
And then add 28 minutes. And what do you get?
240.
So it's 240 plus 28.
Plus 28. 240 plus 28.
Do you know what 40 plus 20 is?
8, 6, 268.
You got it, Harika. Whoa, that was the toughest one. Great job. Okay, I don't think actually you'll need to write this in your notebook, so we'll start to actually do a few in your workbook at this time. Please open up your math workbook. And then I do have also a Nearpod review game with some time questions and other questions that hopefully we'll get to as well. Okay, so we're doing 16.2, starting on page 151, some of those. Marcus, this is time for you to take out your math workbook now. We're going to start it together. Page 151. Okay. So that is basically this whole concept. We're going to have either hours and minutes that we're going to convert to minutes, or minutes that we convert to hours. So we'll do a few of each of those. Let's actually skip over that part. Let's go to 152 instead. Okay, Josiah, it says here, Katie took 3 hours and 20 minutes to sew 2 sets of curtains. How many minutes are in 3 hours and 20 minutes? Can you unmute yourself, and I'm going to have you help with
3 hours, 140 minutes.
Well, let's count up for the 3 hours, 60 plus 60 plus 60, because there's 3 groups of 60, right?
Yeah.
Plus how many extra minutes?
60 plus 60 plus 60. Then that will be equal to,
Or we could, for that part, we can just think of 3 times 6 and then add a 0.
80.
Not 80, close.
180.
180. You know how 3 times 6 is 18?
Yeah.
So if 3 times 6 is 18, 3 times 60 is 180. And then we have some extra minutes, Josiah. How many extra minutes do we need to add on?
20 extra minutes.
20. So we had 180 plus 20. What's 180 plus 20?
80 plus 20 is 200.
Perfect. So that's our answer. There are 200 minutes in 3 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, Emma, would you do the next one for us? 1 hour and 20 minutes. 152. So how many minutes are in 1 hour first?
Minutes on 1 hour? 6, wait, no, that's
Yep, you got it.
60.
Yeah, 60 minutes in 1 hour. Plus we're going to add 20 more minutes. What is 60 plus 20? We'll give you a hint, Emma. They're both just
80?
tens. Yep, you got it, 80. Okay, Marcus, can you do this one for us? 2 hours and 48 minutes. And it already tells us 2 hours is 120 minutes. What do we need to add to 120 minutes?
48 minutes,
Which is how much total?
which equals the 164 minutes.
160. What's in the ones place?
8.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, I know you're just looking at that 4. Okay, let's do one more, and then I'll have you do the rest on your own. And they tell on the side all of actually the conversions, but we can use multiplication to figure it out too. Sahanasri, can you do number 6 for us? 1 hour and 40 minutes. We're going to convert it to minutes.
Okay. Is it 100 minutes?
You got it, yeah. Because 60 minutes plus 40 is 100. Okay, let's do a few of these on the next page now. 153, because this is a different kind. With these, you'll basically want to use division to figure it out, converting minutes to hours. And if I were you, I would just kind of focus on the first 2 digits, not the 0. And since there are 60 minutes in an hour, you would divide all of these by 6 to figure out how many hours it is. Aryansh, can you do number 12? 180 minutes is how many hours?
3 hours.
Good. Kruti, 360 minutes is how many hours?
6 hours.
You got it. 120 minutes is how many hours? Harika?
220 minutes is
120.
120 minutes is 1 hour.
No, 60.
It's 2 hours. No.
Yep, you got it. 60 minutes is 1 hour. 120 minutes is 2 hours.
Oh. Then what's 3 hours?
180 minutes. And you can use this chart to help you, sweetie. But do you see that on page 152?
Mm-hmm.
That can help you. But also think about it as a division problem. Like 18 divided by 6 is 3. 36 divided by 6 is 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2.
Oh.
That's going to be the easiest way to do it because it's actually saying 60 minutes, but we're basically removing this 0 and removing this 0 to make it a simpler division problem. And it'll get you the right answer every time. Then for the last ones that you'll do on your own today, you'll use number bonds to basically separate out 70 minutes is 10 minutes plus 60 minutes, which is 1 hour. Okay, so when you have the minutes like this that don't divide evenly as a number of hours, find the closest number of minutes that would be in an hour and separate it out. Like 70 minutes is 60 minutes plus 10, so 1 hour and 10 minutes. Right, that's what you do for 153. Let's do one of those together as well, though. Samhita, can you do number 20 for us?
Okay.
Oh, that's exactly the same. This is exactly the same as that one before. So let's skip over that and go to this one. 195 minutes.
There's 180 minutes and 195 minutes, so that equals 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Well done. Yeah,
After
Samhita knows 180 is the closest to 195 for how many hours? What's that, Samhita?
Say the truth, I already solved it.
Good job.
I finished all the other problems that you guys were doing, so I started this page.
Good. Okay, let me actually have Arshab do the next one too, just to have a little extra practice. And Arshab, you can use the chart to help you if you're not sure of 4:30, what would be the closest?
Okay, so how many hours and minutes?
Yes, how many hours and minutes? And this is what I would do. I would think, what number from the 6 chart would be closest to 43? 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. 42 is actually the closest, 6 times 7.
Oh, 40, okay.
Right? 42 is the closest. That would be 7 hours. And then how many extra minutes are there?
10 minutes.
You got it. Okay, so use your 6 multiplication chart to help you with these. And try to ignore the ones place as you're thinking about it. Okay? Like what's in the 6 chart, what is closest to 29? In the 6 chart, what's closest to 37? And use that to help you. Okay, we'll stop here, and I've got a little Nearpod review game for us to play at this time, which has some practice of these things and some practice of other things we've done throughout the week. Who's ready? Okay, let's start. Go to nearpod.com. All right, and here is the code to enter. Here's the code, and you'll just go to nearpod.com. Here's the link. Marcus, I'd love for you to play with us. Can you click the link and then enter that code? Emma's in. Good job, Emma. Is it not actually you? Someone just entered their name as Emma. My guess is Alexander.
You're right. It's me.
No.
Imposter Emma.
What are you think of that, Emma? Oh, we've got two Emmas, and they both look the same. But Emma's has an extra little smiley face. Oh, we've got a lot of people now. Harika has joined, Kruthi, Real Emma, Rishith, Awesome Samhita, and WOI. Is that Arshab? No? Who is that? Aryansh? What does that mean?
Well-ordered language. What else?
Oh.
No other name. So I just thought of that.
That's good.
Ooh, maybe next time I should put the whole entire Happy Farmer poem as my name. That's gonna be very big of a name.
That would be a
I
big
feel like
one.
the one that has the kind of Elmo kind of writing. I think that's Arshab.
Is that right, Arshab?
With the different language writing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
What language is that? Just asking.
Oh, Marathi.
Oh, you speak Marathi?
Yeah.
Nice. Is that how you write your name in Marathi?
No, that's actually my dad's name. I don't know. I just went with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, who are we still waiting on? Mort. Who is my name is Mort?
He's from King Julian. He loves King Julian's feet.
Who is that though?
Feet? What?
It's me. Yeah, feet.
Josiah.
They're all lemurs. It's a TV.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
from there's these like animals that kind of land in Africa. I forgot the name of that, but yeah, Madagascar.
Okay.
There's this raccoon that always follows the king's feet, and also
It's not a raccoon. It's a mouse lemur.
I call
Okay,
him.
Let's start the game. I'm going to present my screen in case you want to follow along with me and your internet's not working. You're also welcome to leave the meeting while we play the game in case your internet connection works better that way. Okay? Who's ready? Let's go.
Then at the game, can you show all of us scores, like everybody's?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Thank
Let's
you.
start. 2 hours equals how many minutes? How many minutes are in 2 hours? I just went over this. What is the answer? The answer is 120. You know what, boys and girls? Is anybody actually following along with my screen? I'm going to stop presenting and then it will speed it up. 4 hours equals how many minutes?
I clicked the wrong one, but I know the answer.
Oh, I hate that. It's double the last answer. $240 is right. 300 minutes equals how many hours? 300 minutes. 4, 5, 6, or 7. Think of what 30 divided by 6 is. 30, just those first two, divided by 6. $5 hours, yeah. 3 hours and 42 minutes equals how many minutes? 3 hours, first think of how much 3 hours is. Plus 42 minutes. You can write it down if you need to. $222, because it's 180 plus 42. Next up. What was the name of the contract in history that said all passengers would work together to govern themselves in the new land? Is it the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Honor Code, or the Mayflower Compact? All of the passengers will work together. This was from yesterday's history class. Mayflower Compact. Next up, who were the people who wanted religious freedom and they separated from the Church of England? Were they Protestants, separatists, Native Americans, or foreigners? They separated from the Church of England. Separated. There's your hint. Separatists. Next up, what is the muscle under your lungs that does most of the work with moving air in and out of the body? What is that muscle? It does a lot of the work of moving the air in and out. It contracts and relaxes. Lungs, alveoli, trachea, or diaphragm. Diaphragm. What happens when your diaphragm contracts? Does it move downward and air enters the lungs, or move upward and air exits the lungs? One of those is contracts, one of them is relaxes. Or which one is contracting? It's when it moves downward and air enters the lungs. That's contracting. What does pes pedis mean? Hand, head, foot, or arm? You wrote fruit cards based off of this one this week. Is it hand, foot, hand, head, foot, or arm? Pes pedis. Like if you go to get a pedicure or a pedestrian foot. Like a pedestrian walks on foot. Last question. Did Almonzo end up choosing farm life or town life at the end of our book? What did he choose? Did he want to be a farmer or a townsman? A farmer.
She won.
Awesome, Samhita was first place. Great job, Samhita. Second place went to Well-Ordered Language, Aryansh.
Can you read them all now?
And Kruthi was in third place. Good job, Kruthi. Okay.
I was about to be in third.
Fourth place was Emma, just barely behind.
Me.
I was
Almost made it to the pedestal.
I
And
was
then
that
fifth place was Arshab. Good job, Arshab. Sixth place went to Josiah. Good job. Next was Emma. Oh, wait, the other Emma.
Yeah. I was the fourth place, Emma.
Oh,
So-
you were fourth place, Emma. Other
Yeah.
Emma was seventh place. Good job, sweetie. Eighth place went to Dikshita. Good job. Then Harika, then Rishith, then who was Anime Lover? And then Saha Nasri, it looked like you weren't able to answer any of the questions. Sorry about that. In the future, if you want to leave the meeting and then just do the game, that might work better. Okay? Yes, Aryansh?
What place am I again?